It's been nearly 2 years since Channel 9 started investigating the affordable housing crisis here in Charlotte. Since then, the city has invested millions in building affordable units, and several local businesses have chipped in millions of their own. In 2018, voters approved $50 million, a record amount of money for affordable housing. But what has happened to it? Government reporter Joe Bruno asked city leaders and activists what has changed since the affordable housing bond passed and what will happen next.
Heritage Park Apartments. Dozens of units built several decades ago that are available to families at an affordable yet market rate. 151 units will be renovated and preserved for years to come. Mount Holly Huntersville Road. The area around here is constantly changing. Soon, more housing will join the neighborhood. This plot of land is slated to become Abington on Mount Holly. 102 affordable units, including 25% for the areas most in need. 7th Street, the heart of Uptown. This sliver of land may not look large, but it is big enough to one day be home to 100 units. Close to transit, jobs, and opportunity. These are 3 projects made possible thanks to Charlotte voters approving the $50 million affordable housing bond. They are far from alone. Since the bond passed, leaders have invested in 13 different developments across the city at a total of $28.3 million, resulting in more than 1,300 new or renovated affordable housing units.
I'm very pleased with the progress that we're making.
Since taking office, Mayor Vi Lyles has championed affordable housing in the city. She says Charlotte has become a model for the nation.
I felt like we had made a statement to this community that housing was important. And I hear that a lot, that housing is important. People talk about it. It's a conversation that we needed to have, and we're having it.
Since the city passed the affordable housing bond, leaders partnered with LISC, a nonprofit that evaluates potential affordable housing projects. Director of Housing and Neighborhood Services, Pam Weideman, says the partnership has benefited the city.
We forged a good working relationship. Just this past first round, if you will, we worked together with LISC as they're overseeing the housing fund, and we were able to fund 6 developments in partnership with LISC, which is really monumental.
From the activist standpoint, Robert Dawkins with the Housing Justice Coalition says he is happy with the number of units that have been committed to since the bond passed. He would like there to be some more communication from LISC and the city on how they evaluate future developments.
For us on the advocacy side, again, we're happy with the money that came in, but before we support the next bond, we're going to have some transparency in how the money's being spent.
Moving forward, Dawkins would like to see the city start tracking how many units we are losing in addition to building.
I'm not happy at all with what they're doing to preserve housing. Lake Arbor is a prime example of it. What can we do better to stop losing housing?
Mayor Vi Lyles says that's an idea worth pursuing.
With technology today, it's something we ought to try. We may not get it perfect in its early stages, but I think there's an opportunity to do it.
The city currently has $21.7 million left in the Housing Trust Fund. The city manager has already said he is proposing an additional $50 million bond on the 2020 ballot. Mayor Vi Lyles says in addition to housing, the city needs to focus on wages and creating good-paying jobs.
We've got to get people trained in jobs of the future that pay a higher hourly wage.
The Housing Trust Fund hosts the dollars that are approved by voters at the ballot box. Weidman says in early 2020, the city will put out a request for proposals for developers to apply for Housing Trust Fund dollars.